Hello XDA forum members. Today this demonstration will be a session for how to install a Cognition based ROM to a Samsung Captivate. Our particular Captivate is an AT&T phone. It's running the stock ROM with the latest over-the-air update from AT&T. It is unrooted, untouched. My wife's been using it for a few days. Start by unlocking the phone. Click the settings button in the bottom left, choose settings, go into applications, development. Be sure your USB is checked because that's the way we would do in this. Go back to the home screen. At this time, plug in your USB cable. You cannot check USB development with this plugged in, so be sure that before you do that it is unplugged. Once you've plugged it in, swipe down, click USB connected, then click mount. Set the phone aside. I'm assuming you've already got the drivers for your operating system platform. If not, please see XDA developers for information on how to install those drivers. At this point, I would assume that you have done that because this is a slightly higher level of difficulty or involvement. Once it mounts, go ahead and browse to an Explorer window and create a folder on your desktop. We called ours Backup. Once the drive loads, go ahead and grab the files that you will need. These are files you're going to back up, as you will be losing these with the master clear operation. We chose files such as DSIM, which hold pictures and videos, download, hold anything you've downloaded off the net or web, and some other folders like Mobilo, ringtone applications, and some things like that. Copy those to the backup folder that you just created. Okay, once you have done that, you can go ahead and at this time you need to get the Captivate one-click root files. Those can be found on XDA developers as well. Simply Google for Samsung Captivate one-click root. Download them to your desktop and open the zip file. Inside you'll see a file called root.zip. Sometimes the one-click doesn't work, so I prefer to do it this way. Copy the one-click zip to the internal SD card that you still have open in another Explorer, and then call it update.zip. Okay, now once you've done that, you can click one-click root and then go ahead and say one-click root. There's an option to unroot, but we're rooting the phone, so click one-click root. You'll see it push the file. Sometimes it does fail, as it did there. At this time, we'll go back to the phone. It'll be rebooting. When it reboots, it'll go to recovery mode. And at this time, we're going to say reinstall packages. If it did fail, remember we did transfer the root.zip and change the name to update.zip ourselves. So reinstall packages, you'll see it reinstall everything, and it will proceed to reboot. At this point, you've just set your stock ROM into root. So you now have read-write access to the entire phone, gives you exclusive features and apps that you can install now. It's actually a pretty useful procedure if you really want full use of your phone. So we'll let the stock phone reboot at this time. It'll come back up momentarily. Go ahead and close out the command prompt window. Go ahead and close the Galaxy one-click root and any other folders that you have right now. Once the phone boots back up, you need to go into the market and download Titanium Backup. I have it on my computer as an APK, so I'm going to sideload it as I have the pay-for version. I do recommend the pay-for version, although there is a free version. The pay-for version will make restoring the apps and user data a breeze compared to the free version asking you to say OK and done for each and every app. So if you have the time, go with the free version. If you have a little cash, I do recommend the pay-for version. So I'll be using Droid Explorer while you go to the market to side load this application that I have on my desktop. I found the app, selected it. I'll wait for this, say install, and that'll go away. And now I have installed it. Once you've installed it, go to your applications, go to Titanium Backup. It's going to ask for root rights. Allow it. Super user will ask you if you should allow it. You click yes. You can ignore the start screen. Click the Backup and Restore tab. Then click Settings, Batch, and Backup all user apps plus system data. It's probably going to be the one with the largest number beside it. So run that, and then click Run the Batch Operation. Now this is going to go ahead and back up everything that you have on the phone, including user data. This goes as far as wireless access point data, email data, personal phone settings. It's more than just apps. So let that run. Once this completes running, remount the phone for USB storage and copy the entire Titanium backup folder to your backup folder on the desktop that we did in the first step. Because remember, the master clear will fully clear all data on the internal SD card. So it's important, you have to back up Titanium backup folder, which is stored on the internal SD card of this phone, onto your desktop. If you don't do that, you will lose all these apps. So remember, back up all your initial data, run Titanium backup, and then grab the Titanium backup folder from the internal SD card and copy it to your desktop. I'll come back in a little bit once we've backed up our apps and transferred that folder. Okay, when the backup finishes, the phone will just be presenting you with the same thing you started with. For security's sake, I'm going to go ahead and remount the phone and remind you to back up your Titanium backup folder. Didn't want to just mention it, I wanted to actually do it so you wouldn't forget. It's not worth forgetting, so grab Titanium backup and drop it into backup. Once that is completed, we will proceed to flash the stock ROM back onto the device. Now you may be saying to yourself, well, I already have the stock ROM. Well, this is the way we're doing it in this tutorial, and this is the way that's recommended by Design Gears and many other members, so that's the steps we're going to follow. The Odin one-click download is available from the site that Design Gears has launched. There's threads on it from xda.com and many other places like that. The way to do this is to turn off the phone. There's actually many methods. This is the method that we'll be talking about. So we're going to be powering off the phone. And we need to get this into download mode. So the way we're going to do it is we're going to wait for it to completely shut off. This time it probably has. We're going to pop the back cover off, pop out the battery, remove the SIM, also remove the SD card external if you do have it installed. Then we're going to reinstall the battery and hold the volume up, volume down buttons while plugging in the USB cable.